Okay, so we have some huge AEW news and speculation today. As many of you are probably aware by now, Sean Ross Sapp of Fightful.com has reported that Cody Rhodes, despite being the executive vice president of All Elite Wrestling and the promotion's current TNT champion, is currently a free agent working without a contract. The report alleges that Cody's contract within the company actually expired at the end of 2021. This has now fueled some crazy rumors, which we're looking to break down. Dave Meltzer of the Wrestling Observer Radio quickly discussed on his online forum after this news broke that all of his usual contacts at AEW were now avoiding him. Meltzer speculates that this means either one of two things. One, that the news is legitimate, and everyone at AEW is currently mad that the news has leaked to begin with, or two, that this is a work for an upcoming storyline, and no one at AEW wants to lie to Meltzer. Out of all of Meltzer's usual contacts in AEW, only one has actually spoken to him during this time, commenting that they personally thought it was a publicity stunt, but had no confirmation one way or the other. Meltzer further highlights that if Cody was offered a new contract at the start of this year, he hasn't actually been around in person to sign one. We know Cody flew into Newark on the 5th of January, received a phone call about a family health emergency before arriving at the building, and hasn't been back since. This could suggest that perhaps the most likely outcome is the most reasonable one, that being that AEW and Cody are still just figuring out the finer details of the contract and waiting for the right time where it can be signed in person. However, the internet wrestling community, being the way that it is, have speculated otherwise. Some have suggested that this is purely Cody fabricating drama for the second season of his TV show, Rhodes to the Top, set to premiere soon. Meanwhile, others have also speculated that this is all a work to give Cody even more heat than he already has. One Reddit user suggested that Cody will no-show the coming Dynamite show, where he's currently scheduled to have a unification match with interim TNT champion Sammy Guevara. While All Elite Wrestling typically like to avoid swerves when segments are already announced and booked for a show, this is a rare opportunity where doing so may actually make sense. Cody Rhodes can go rogue, defend his TNT title on the Indies for a bit, while Sammy defends his title on Dynamite and Rampage. Sammy Guevara said himself in his vlog just after Cody won the title back from him that things are going to go in a different direction that no one expects. Perhaps Cody Rhodes disappears from the company until the Revolution pay-per-view, holding off on the big unification match until then. This would create an angle similar to the one between Will Ospreay and Kazuchika Okada at this past Wrestle Kingdom, as well as the infamous Summer of Punk. Others have also made the bold assumption that this means Cody might be appearing in this year's WWE Royal Rumble. This comes after WWE already opened the forbidden door to allow Mickie James to enter the Women's Rumble, in addition to the further rumours floating about that WWE were planning yet another shock forbidden door entry for the men's match. Meanwhile, others have also speculated that these contract issues are all an angle to allow Cody to eventually challenge once again for the AEW World title, which with his current persona would certainly give him some nuclear heat. But what do you think? Is everyone making a big deal out of nothing? Or is this actually the next major storyline that AEW have in the works? Sound off in the comments below, and make sure to subscribe. We'll keep you updated with this story when more news becomes available.